Please keep them with you at all times, and if you have bird food purchased from our gift shop or on board, then please throw it well clear of the vessel and ensure that this is the only thing which you throw overboard. All rubbish must be placed in the bins provided or taken ashore. We thank you for your cooperation, and if you have any further questions or if there is anything we can do to make your journey more enjoyable, then please do not hesitate to ask a member of staff. We have a fully stocked bar on board situated on the lower deck towards the rear of the vessel. This will be open throughout the trip, selling a range of wines, beers, spirits, as well as soft drinks, tea and coffee, and light snacks. And there's no need to leave the seat, as members of staff will be making their way around the vessel shortly, taking orders for drinks which can then be brought to you. We now leave the centre of Windsor to our left, while opposite to our right is Eton, with some of the Eton College boathouses lining the waterfront. Rowing is a popular activity at Eton, the boys choosing either that or cricket as their summer sport. Those choosing cricket are known as dry bobs, whilst the rowers are called wet bobs. We are now proceeding upstream on the River Thames, which takes us in a roughly westerly direction. This would lead eventually to Oxford and beyond, although to reach Oxford by river from here would take somewhere in the region of 2 days. This is largely due to the 23 locks each one taking roughly half an hour to negotiate on a busy day. There's a speed limit on the Upper Thames of a little under 5 miles an hour, and also the river takes a very winding, meandering course, so all in all it's not the place to be if you're in too much of a hurry. To our left is Jacob's Island, formerly called Corporation Island. It was renamed after a well-known local councillor and a boat builder called Arthur Jacobs. It was here that some of the largest wooden boats, almost twice the length of this boat, were built in the now dismantled and long-forgotten boathouses and slipways of the Jacobs Yard. As we head up past Brockus Meadows to our right, some of the Eton College buildings become visible, as do the spires of Eton College Chapel, which is built in an almost identical style to St George's Chapel in Windsor Castle, known as the perpendicular Gothic style of architecture. Eton College was founded in 1440 by King Henry VI, originally naming it the King's College of Our Lady of Eton beside Windsor. Incidentally, the college owns rights from here and beyond our turning point. They're in fact the second largest landowner in the country after the Crown, owning land in nearly every county. Brockus Meadows were named after Lord Brockus, one of the founding members of Eton College, who donated the land to the people of Eton. Ahead of us is the Windsor Railway Bridge, being one of several across the Thames designed by Isambard Kingdom Brunel, the famous Victorian engineer. The bridge was built in 1849 for Queen Victoria, and it brings the Great Western Railway network right up to the front of Windsor Castle. The design of this bridge was unique in its day, as were many of Brunel's designs. This one because the 187-foot central span is not secured to the sides, but rests there under its own weight on 6 bearings, allowing for expansion and contraction of the ironworks during temperature changes. This type of span is known as a bowstring arch. The brick viaduct was constructed between 1861 and 1865, replacing the original wooden trestle viaduct. The arches were incorporated into the design specifically to prevent floodwater from being trapped on the upstream side in the event of the Thames bursting its banks. These arches gave rise to the bridge's local name, Bridge of 100 Arches. The bridge is believed to be Brunel's oldest surviving iron structure, still in continuous use.
हम तो मेन पार्क में घूमने नहीं आ सकते।
हाँ सकते क्यों नहीं आ सकते।
तो चलो फिर।
इनको हम बोले कि ये कैनाल तो है ही, वही वाली जो हमारे घर के नीचे जाती है, हमको वहीं ड्रॉप कर दें।
कैनाल में से बाहर कैसे आएगा?
वो साइड में पार्क कर देंगे।
Bath's Island on our left-hand side, so called because in the days before Windsor had a public swimming pool, the channel behind the island would have been closed off to river traffic during the summer months. This provided the people of Windsor with a safe outdoor swimming area.
ऐसे करो पानी का भी है, पता ही लगेगा ना।
ऐसे ठीक है। लो तुम हैंडल करो थोड़ा, इससे
नहीं,
जूम करो,
तुम करो ना।
देखो इससे ऐसे जूम करो, हाँ
हाँ
इससे जूम आउट करो।
तुम करो, तुम अच्छा बनाती हो।
नहीं तुम अच्छा बना लेते हो।
To our left now is the Windsor Leisure Centre, being the current incarnation of Windsor's swimming facility. The centre stands on the site of the once famous Ricky Tick Club of the 1960s. The Ricky Tick was a well-known live music venue in its day. It started its life at the Heart and Garter Hotel opposite Windsor Castle in 1962, before moving to a semi-derelict mansion on this site on Clewer Meads in 1964.
मेरा हाथ दुख रहा
Many
है,
of
तू ले
today's big names, such as the Who, the Rolling Stones and Eric
हाथ
Clapton,
को लेके आ गए,
made some of
इतना
their early appearances here. Indeed, it's
Zoom
documented
कैसे
that
करते
the
हैं?
Rolling Stones played
ये वाला
the Ricky
धीरे
Tick Club
धीरे
at
ऐसे
least
आगे बढ़ा।
39 times between
धीरे
1962
धीरे बढ़ा
and 4.
बढ़ा आगे,
It was at this venue that the then
मतलब
unheard
दबा
of
के रख
Jimi
उसको।
Hendrix made his UK
लेफ्ट
debut.
नहीं राइट में कर, ठीक है।
Sometimes we are lucky enough to pass boats on the river that have interesting histories, in particular those which took part in Operation Dynamo in 1940. These are the Dunkirk little ships. Operation Dynamo was a 9-day operation where around 1/3 troops were safely brought back from Dunkirk on the coast of northern France. The operation was planned by Vice Admiral Ramsey, who sent out an appeal to owners of private vessels and small commercial craft who could get their vessels close to the beach. 850 such boats were hastily assembled, of which around 150 are still in existence. They can be identified usually by a small brass plaque on the wheelhouse inscribed Dunkirk 1940. They may sometimes also fly the flag of the Association of Dunkirk Little Ships, which is the cross of St George with the crest of Dunkirk in the middle.
सारी ब्रांचेस नीचे नीचे उग रही हैं, ऊपर कुछ भी नहीं उग रहा।
This one ना।
और ये कितना सुंदर, ये सुंदर पेड़ है। ओह ब्यूटीफुल, सामने वाली वो क्रेस्ट है वो
On
beautiful।
our left now is White Lilies Island, having been sold by the owners of Clewer Boatyard for development in 1957 for £7,000. The total value of the island and houses is now reckoned to be worth over 20 million. Residents of some of the newer houses on the island have included actress and singer Natalie Imbruglia and Zinzan Brooke, a New Zealand international rugby player.
मुझे विंडो में चल रही है यहाँ पे छोटी सी
क्या?
बच्चों वाली विंडो, उसको जूम करो और जूम करो, पूरा जूम करो, हिलाओ मत, नीचे नीचे रखो उसको, देखा विंडो है और जूम आउट करो।
Doggies.
On our right-hand side, we're about to round Clewer Point, which forms one of the sharpest bends on this bit of the river. For this reason, there is a heavy iron post set into the ground near the end of the point. It's called a strapping post or a turning post, and it goes back to the days of horse-drawn barges. As the barges approached Clewer Point, the tow rope would be taken off the horse and a few turns made around the post. This would allow the barge to swing safely around the point under its own momentum in a pendulum-like motion. Had they not done this, the barge would have tended to carry on in a straight line towards the opposite bank, quite probably pulling the unfortunate horse in behind it.
तो तुम लो ना, तुम ऑपरेट करो। करना भी नहीं है, बोले यार ये। हेलो हेलो
हाथ हटा क्या ऑफ हो गया
नहीं
ऑफ हो गया
ए,
वो नहीं आगे
On our left-hand side now, we're rounding a bend called Upper Hope, just beyond which is the parade ring of Windsor Racecourse, more of which will become visible as we proceed further upstream. Racing began here at Windsor in 1866 and continues on to this day with